Welcome to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, of course, presented by the great folks at Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. Also brought to you by MoDOT, Save Mo Lives, Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake, Price and Randall Injury Attorneys, and Lake Expo Real Estate, lakeexpo.com. We are here in studio this week. We've got the great Shannon Jolley with us as the Osage Indians are district champions. You'll win the district championship, Coach, with a nice win over Moberly, 9-2 on the season now. That was an impressive win on Friday night.
Yeah, I think, as we talked earlier, just hats off to our kids and coaches and just putting the body of work together. I think I'm just most proud of, there's just been so much put into it. And we went back and looked a little bit yesterday. Not very often do you put a plan together for 4 and 5 years down the road. And that's essentially what we did when we came back to Osage. And when my family got back here and we put a plan in place and got great coaches and got great support, it's like, hey, this is going to take a little bit. And rarely do you see somebody put a 4 or 5 year plan together for something and see it come to fruition and just stay to it. And not only that, I think it was better. It exceeded my expectations. I think the kids in our community have just been awesome. Yeah,
it was kind of a reverse of the last time you played Moberly during the regular season. They jumped out to a big lead. You had to come from behind and win. And this time you jump out to the big lead and you just kind of cruise from there.
I just think it goes back to what I mentioned before. I think our kids, we played them in week 2, and I just think it was clear that our swing and improvement was probably greater, and I attribute that to our staff and the people around our program. But Moberly's a good football team. Cody does a great job at Moberly. I'm just proud to say that our kids, in this situation, put together a really good string of weeks leading up to this contest, and it started with the 2 weeks in the bye going into Hallsville. I think our kids and coaches really responded well.
Absolutely. I got to watch your post-game address down on the field after the win. We'll talk about that and some of the special things about winning a district championship when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
What's like and follow?
Phones are very distracting. Which is why Missouri now has a law against holding a phone while driving.
Dude, what are you doing? You can't hold your phone while driving.
Yeah, that's illegal.
Buckle up.
At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center offers pediatrics at 2 lake locations and 3 OBGYNs at the Osage Beach Clinic, offering same-day appointments. At COMC, our doors are open to everyone, whether you live at the lake or just here visiting. COMC for the best medical, dental, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission.
Hey everybody, it's Daryl Cunningham with Slumberland Furniture at the Lake. We're starting our Black Friday sale. I know it's early, but the deals are so good we couldn't wait. You need to come check them all out. We've got deals for every room of the house, and we're doing 0% interest financing for up to 36 months. And if you're going to do a Tempur-Pedic or Stearns & Foster, we're going to extend that to 72 months. Don't forget, we deliver the entire lake area, so come check it all out at Slumberland Furniture. We're bringing happy home.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. Coach Shannon Jolley, the Osage Indians district champions. They move into the state quarterfinals this week against Saint Clair. I was talking before the break. I was watching your post-game address to the team. After the district championship win, you mentioned them working hard for this since 8th grade. So this isn't just something that happened overnight. They've been working at this for a while, and you said you did it the right way. What does that mean?
It just means, I've had a lot of influences in my coaching career over the last 30 years, and being influential is also being willing to understand and get better. And I think having those influences in my life allowed me to share those with our kids. And doing it the right way just means really the 5 spears that we talk about of influence are, we talk about honesty, we talk about attendance, we talk about trust, talk about knowledge of the game, and then we talk about the expectation to win. And these kids have really followed those 5 pillars, if you will, of what we put in place 5 years ago. And those things are super important to us. And it's just being humble also. And that's probably the biggest one I left out is winning. And winning the right way means having humility and understanding it's not just all about you. It is absolutely about the team.
So many great life lessons in what you just talked about. So you beat Moberly. The defense really came through big. I think they scored the first touchdown of the game on a pick six, and that kind of got things rolling in your direction.
Yeah, and we put them in a couple tough situations. On the first drive, we stalled out, and they got to put a little bit of a drive together, and Ethan Wall just had an amazing play and took it back, I think it was 82 yards, and that kind of kick-started things, and that created some momentum for us. So, yeah, it's that's the cool part about us. There's 3 phases in the game: your offense, your special teams, and defense, and you don't really know each night which one's going to be the one to shine. And Friday night, for sure, I thought our defense and our coaches on the defensive side shined for sure.
Absolutely, and they got the momentum going early for you guys. I went back and looked it up. I went back on the Missouri State High School Activities Association website. This is your 3rd district championship at Osage. You won 2 the first time you were there. I think you won back-to-back in 03 and 04. And then you went to Eldon. You won 3 more district championships at Eldon. So this makes number 6 overall, number 3 at Osage. To me, from an outsider, that shows me that you really know what you're doing as a coach. What does that say to you about what you're doing? What your life's work?
Well, I think to start, we won those district championships. There's so many people, and it goes back to kind of what I talked about. Guys, I've had some tremendous influences at some really interesting places, whether it be Pershing Middle School and Kevin Baker, who was a basketball coach from P.D. Mullins. His father was a Hall of Famer at Greenwood Laboratory School in Springfield. When I was a young coach, I had those opportunities to volunteer with those guys.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate the opportunity God gave me to be with those guys, because it was clear that I didn't really know anything going in. I didn't have a lot of experience, so which ended up being a blessing for me, because when I learned from guys like that, that's really all you know. So you don't really have to struggle with the other stuff, and really all you know is what you share. And we've been fortunate. We do feel like we have a plan. Some guys joke about, my 4-year plan, but really what it comes into for all the young coaches is you've got to believe in your system and your process, and you can't waver from it. And we always talk about you can't put small Band-Aids on an open wound. And what I mean is sometimes you do things to stop the bleeding and think it's going to be better, but you've got to be willing to stay the course. And not only that, you got to have coaches around you that believe in the process. And I mentioned it Friday night, the kids have trust and belief in our process, and I think they see all the positive things that come from it.
Absolutely. So district championships, state quarterfinals, they'll play a Saint Clair team Friday night. We'll talk about that matchup when we come back on the COMC High School Football Coaches Show.
Lake life starts here. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we know that buying or selling a lakefront property is more than just a transaction. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter that we strive to make easy, from listing to closing. In a competitive market, we showcase your property to the masses online with LakeExpo.com, returning unmatched visibility. And if you're ready to buy that lake house, our team lives and breathes the lake lifestyle, so we know what this chapter is all about. At Lake Expo Real Estate, we believe in community, cherishing those lasting memories, and helping make your lake dream a reality. Check us out online to find lake properties. No logins, no distractions, just pure, unfiltered lake views and options. Lake Expo Real Estate, where we are ready to be a part of your next chapter.
Competing on the field requires hard work.
It also requires effort and making good choices, which carries over off the field.
Like good choices behind the wheel of your car. Did you know that a driver is 20 times more likely to be in a serious accident if texting and driving?
Last year alone, 104 people were killed in Missouri from distracted driving.
So keep leading the statistics. Don't become one.
Buckle up, phones down. This Drive Safe, Boat Safe reminder brought to you by Price & Randall Injury Attorneys.
Welcome back to the COMC High School Football Coaches Show. Coach Shannon Jolley In studio with us this week, doing us a favor to come and do this in studio. We usually do it outright by your football field. You've got a game Friday night. It is the state quarterfinals, which means there's only 8 teams left playing in your class, and you're one of them. And you take on a 9-3 Saint Clair team. Saint Clair beating St. Francis Borgia to get to this point. What do you know about Saint Clair?
Well, we know they're coming off of a really big victory. I know Saint Clair Borgia rivalry is a big deal.
Yeah.
And so what they demonstrated on Friday night, that they can rise to the occasion for sure. I think the thing that stands out most is they have a pretty dynamic running game, and it starts with their quarterback. He's super fast, and for the people in the Osage world, we kind of compare him to what a Brockton McLaughlin looked like back in the day. I mean, super fast, and they just do a good job, and obviously their kids are playing well at the right time to come over that win, so we're looking forward to the challenge.
I noticed all 3 of their losses came at home this year, which is a little different. They're undefeated on the road, and it just so happens you have to go and play at their place, I think, on Saturday.
Yeah, I think that kind of goes out the window. A Saturday 1 p.m. game in high school is different for all kids. And I say this out of envy. You know, the teams that have been there before and have done it more, whether it be Coach LePage at Blair Oaks and stuff, you kind of have a routine set up for those Saturday games. And this one's going to be unique for both of us. I think it's been a little bit for them when they've played in a game like this on a Saturday. So really, it boils down to high school kids figuring it out. We'll have a plan, of course, but Saturday at 1's a lot different than Friday night at 7.
Yeah, it is. It's, I mean, daytime not under the lights, a whole half a day extra, and you've got travel on top of that. So they're a running team. I'm guessing your defense is going to have to step up, try to stop their run.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they Moberly ran the ball quite a bit. I think this team probably even runs the ball a little bit more. But when you see them on film, you understand why. They've got some dynamic kids in the backfield. And that is the exceptional part about St. Clair is they're committed to what they're good at. Sometimes coaches will try to push different schemes and different things when they really don't have to. And I think St. Clair knows who they are, and they do a really good job.
What are you going to need to do on offense against that St. Clair D?
I think it's about ball control and about using the clock. And we talked about Friday night. We didn't, however, started out well, but just talking about scoring every drive, getting a field goal or a touchdown out of every position or out of every possession. And if you don't score on those possessions, we want to take a lot of time off the clock. But I think that's going to be a similar philosophy. So it's just about continuing to get better on offense. It was tough sledding early Friday night, but our kids still persevered and got the ball in the end zone twice in the first half and to put us up by 21 after following the defensive score. So, you know, we feel confident as our kids continue to execute. We're excited about it.
Absolutely excited for Friday night. The district champion, Osage Indians coach Shannon Jolley. Thank you, sir, for doing us a favor, coming by,
you guys.
doing this in studio. And Friday night ought to be a great game. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the COMC High School Football Coaches Show, of course, presented by Central Ozarks Medical Center. Also brought to you by MoDOT, Save Mo Lives, Slumberland Furniture, Slumberland at the Lake, Price and Randall, Injury Attorneys, and Lake Expo Real Estate, lakeexpo.com.